Hey everyone, it's Rajiv and welcome to my channel Rajiv's Reviews. In this video, I'm going to be giving my book review of the very first book from my all-time favorite author, Sidney Sheldon, which is called The Naked Face. So the book was published in 1970 or 1971, and it's a pretty straightforward plot. The whole story revolves around the psychoanalyst named Judd Stevens, and Judd is suddenly put on the spotlight when one of his patients is murdered in public, and soon his receptionist is also murdered in a very brutal way. The police think that Judd is behind the murders because he seems to be the only common link between the two murders. However, Judd soon realizes that there is a madman or madmen who are targeting him and wants him dead instead. He realizes that his life is in danger and he needs to figure out who is chasing him and who is trying to kill him, whether it is one of his patients or whether it's just some deranged maniac, before it's too late. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in some of my earlier videos, but Sidney Sheldon is my all-time favorite author because he is the one who got me into reading, and it was one of his books only. I think it was Master of the Game, which was the first novel that I ever read, which I absolutely loved. So I'm at this phase where I'm rereading all his novels, and I thought I would start chronologically and start off with the very first one. While I feel like there are quite a lot of suspenseful moments in this story, which the author is famous for, the book really did not age very well. Let me start off with all the things that I liked about the book. The story is paced really well, where you start to see Judd going crazy and how he starts to suspect all of his patients and who would have a motive for killing him. Most of his patients or the potential suspects are also very distinguished and intriguing and mysterious in their own way. And the author also throws a lot of red herrings along the way where you start to suspect each of the patients and you wonder if they could be the main prime suspect. All in all, I would say that this was a very decent suspense novel. But like I said earlier, I feel like the story has really not aged very well. So main problem that I had with this story is how the author says that homosexuality can just be easily cured. It was very interesting to see how the author provides this mindset of the average reader back in the day in the 70s, where they would have thought that this was just a disease that could be cured. But it just feels very ridiculous reading it now in today's day and age. The first victim is apparently this gay man who is magically cured by the psychoanalyst, and he is very happy to be going back to his wife again, which just seemed very illogical. Secondly, I really did not like the way the book ended. So like I said, there are so many red herrings that are thrown along the way where you start to see who the potential suspect could be, and there are just so many interesting characters who could have been the actual killer. But when it is actually revealed who is behind the whole thing, it just comes out of nowhere and it is just so far-fetched and so unbelievable, and it takes the story to a completely different tangent, and I was just disappointed reading it because it just came out of the blue and it did not go well with the plot at all. Also, on a side note, there are just a lot of outdated phrases like groovy and rad, which just make this book sound so old. Having said all that, I still did enjoy reading this book. It is a quick, short, easy, decent read where Sidney manages to hold the reader's interest throughout. And while this is in no way one of his better novels, I would say that you can definitely pick up this book if you want just a nice suspense novel which is very quick to read, or if you are a fan of the author like me and you just want to read his very first novel, then you can pick out The Naked Face. Overall, I did not like this book a lot, but I did enjoy reading it and I thought it was interesting in some places, and I would give this book a rating of 2.5 to 3 out of 5 stars. If you enjoyed watching this video, then please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell notifications icon to get notifications on whenever I post something new. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.